Before I tell you the goddess that you are related to, we have to go back to the beginning. In the beginning, there was one energy. This energy was androgynous, both male and female, and it split itself in half in order to experience itself like a mirror in a dual reality. The one sphere became two spheres, and the center became what is known as the Vescica Pisces, and it looks like a teardrop and a fish. Atum was a god who created himself. It is the male version. He lost a part of himself, and when he found a part of himself, he cried tears of joy. These tears of joy created the first human beings. Now, there is a female version to the other side of this. This female god or goddess also wept. So we have a female that cried, and that is Freya. Freya was the Norse goddess who wept red gold tears because she lost someone as well. So the male and female both have their stories. Freya is Atum. Atum is Freya. They're the same person, just split in half. Adam was Eve. Eve was Adam. And I believe that Atum and Adam are the same person. These stories are mimicked and told over and over again in many different ways, and we think they're different, but they're actually the same story. Atum is associated with the colors red and white, kind of like Santa. And Freya is associated with red and gold. So we have a lot of Western cultures who love red and gold, and then in our culture, we have a lot of red and white. The red, white, and blue, our American flag. Anyway, so the water is so important, whether we're talking about tears or fish. But in your piece, you have a snowflake next to the tear that's coming out of Freya's eye. You have a snowflake. And to me, it's like Freya is saying, look, these tears created human beings. And human beings turned to ice. Do you know what a snowflake is in symbology? It means memory loss. We lost our memory. So a teardrop or a fish that's frozen in time is somehow Freya is telling us that we've lost our memory. We don't know the truth about who Freya is or who Atum is or Adam and Eve is because somehow things have been so messed up that we have been very confused. And Freya is coming forward to tell us many things, like especially there at 5 o'clock is Jonah and the whale. That Jonah's name is both male and female. It's both male and female. And being in the belly of a whale is simply a story of being in the Vescica Pisces, being in the center, the eye of the needle of the two circles. These are the origins of the seed or flower of life. And so what we're being told is it's more metaphorical of explaining an energy of elements in physical form that we can understand, and we're confused. So you're at 11 o'clock and you are Freya, crying tears, amber tears, and you have a snowflake next to you. You have a dragonfly above your head. This means you were a time traveler. You had a lot of power. You were separated from the male part of yourself. This male part of yourself also cried tears of joy. Tears. But the good part of this separation is that both the male and female learned to turn loss into a treasure. So tears were turned into joy by Atum, and your tears were turned into a treasure. In your divinity piece, you have a big treasure box in front of you. It seems as if Freya at 11 o'clock is here to feed humanity their memory back, to take a frozen snowflake and melt it back into water, because water holds memory. It's so much likened to the movie Frozen, where the part 2 of Frozen really talks about water having memory, and that if you want to know what the past was, you have to access the memory of water. Now you are 80% water, so you have the ability to access memories of past and know the truth. The memory within your DNA or your water speaks that you are Freya. Now, I will say that the name Freya was a Norse story, but it's actually a story of Adam and Eve, and it's actually a story of the origin of the female part of the one and all God. So you asked if you were a goddess. I would have to say more you were a god. God slash goddess. This makes you one of the original people. So you should have memories of some pretty substantial things. At least it's coming forward through me, who you are. I want you to notice the fish symbols, the Vescica Pisces on the crown, and then the swirl. This is the universe. There's 4 of them. There's supposedly 4 realms. And this swirl means many things. At 11 o'clock, there's a female being eaten by a whale. So Jonah and the whale is not just male, it's female as well. And it really talks about being in the center. Remember, Jesus said to follow me, follow the fish, follow Pisces to Aquarius, follow the fish to the water, follow the fish to the teardrop, follow the fish to the Vescica Pisces, the center, in order to get back to our oneness and our androgynous godlike self. Basically, going through the eye of the needle is going into the belly of the whale. So Freya was known as the goddess who weeps red gold. And this gold is known as a treasure. So this is why you have a treasure. Now, inside the treasure box is the whale. So this is saying that our treasure that we have is to go through the eye of the needle, to go through the teardrop. That symbol, it's just a symbol. It's not literal. So this metaphorical symbol of the Vescica Pisces is exactly what Jesus talks about. It's the symbol of Atum. It's the symbol of Freya. It's the symbol that is carried through many mythological stories of gods and goddesses. The elephant showering water over the treasure is a symbol of our memory, regaining our memories, opening the treasure box by going through the eye of the needle and suddenly remembering who we are and who we were, and getting back the power that we once had. Freya is known as having 2 cats. You have a cat at around 6 o'clock and by your ear. The symbol on the female being eaten by a whale is space travel. Perhaps we were space travelers. There's a key. Thoth is known as the one with the key. You also have the wooden stakes as your necklace, and there's a story of Freya and the wooden stakes. So that story is true. The elephant has a whale above its head. There again, there's some kind of synonymous thing going on there. Not exactly sure. I do see the star system Cygnus having an important role. The 4 swirls on your crown reflect memory loss and being under a spell or a hypnosis. And the eye of the needle, Vescica Pisces, above the swirls reflect our freedom and regaining our memory. Your energy is here to help us remember who we are. Everything about you is about remembering our godhood, going back to source, going back to the oneness of the all. The necklace of Freya is very important, and your necklace is the 4 stakes that is associated with Freya, and it makes the symbol of Cygnus, the star system, which is the cross. At 5 o'clock, you have the Holy Dove, the Holy Spirit, and the rainbow. This is a reflection of a transformational process that helps us to become half flesh and half spirit, and thereby becoming powerful and regaining our memories. If we are in the belly of a whale and we are inside a locked treasure box, we are to unlock the treasure box and come out of the belly of the whale to an awakening.